All right, so here we are for our Mental Health Matters conversation. And we are so excited. How's everybody doing?
Great.
Doing good, doing good. All right, well, we're talking about mental health matters this month, and so we thought we would record a video on it. And so just practically today, we're going to be saying some statements. And if you agree with it, everybody raise your hand. Awesome, we all know how to do that. And so if you agree with the statement, all you got to do is raise your hand. If not, we're going to discuss about it. So our first statement today is this. I believe social media affects my mental health. Who in here thinks that that is true? Okay.
Yes.
I think all of us would agree on that one. All right, so Reese, what would you say in regards to this?
So I feel like there's a lot of like standards that have like happened now because of social media. Like, I don't know, like if you don't have this or you don't have that, like you don't fit in, and like it affects you because, oh, I don't fit in. I'm not like everybody else, you know? So I feel like that's definitely one thing that kind of affects us.
For sure, yeah. How about you, Miley?
I think that there's a lot of comparison when it comes to social media, that we compare ourselves and we just discount that God created us to be who we are, not somebody else.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
Dang, discount. That's a good word. I like that. Anybody else have thoughts about how it affects our mental health?
I agree with them.
Yeah.
Comparison is a really big thing on social media, and it could definitely destroy your mental health and the way you think about yourself or others.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, we were just looking at this stat from some like youth ministry account, and it was talking about how actually like social media statistically, not just like this wasn't someone's opinion, statistically it affects girls a lot, their mental health a lot worse than guys.
For sure.
And I think it's 100% because of comparison. It's so much. I mean, I think girls share a lot more of their life. Like, guys suck it. Like,
Hey, yeah.
No, they don't suck at it. But, like, you know, when you're, like, you go to show, well, obviously I haven't done this in a long time since we've been together.
Where are you going with
But,
this?
like, when you show, like, when I first showed, like, people pictures of you, like, from your Instagram, it's like you can find nothing on there, you know, because guys don't post
It's more
as
private.
much.
We're more private, I feel like.
Yeah, but like girls post about
that's so
everything.
true.
They're like, oh my gosh, like I lost an eyelash.
No,
Like,
legit.
here's-
That's so true.
and so but I think it definitely, affects girls' mental health.
For sure. And I think something that we've even incorporated into our life has been just having limits on our social media. And so whether it be, you said that, months ago that it really impacted me. I feel like I can't be all that God's called me to be if I spend as much time on social media as I am. And I think for us, sometimes we don't think about, like, we need to set limits on our phones and actually, what I've heard, parent our phones almost in a sense. And I think the more that we can get away from it and more into God's word, we'd probably see more of,
100%.
like what Miley was saying, with the identity found in Christ, not just in social media.
Yeah. Do any of you guys have like, not to put you on the spot, but do any of you guys have like a screen time, like, what is it? Not boundary.
Yeah,
screen
limits.
time
I hit ignore limit every single
like,
time.
Ignore for the rest
It's like,
of
give me
today.
15 more, give me one more minute, and then I'm like, I'll take the rest of the day.
We tried to put our own
We
like,
did.
passwords.
It didn't work.
Yeah, no. Anyways, but
So
Reese,
true.
you do?
Yeah.
Does it help you, or is it? I mean, it's hard. I get it.
So mine, it actually like it cuts off all my social media at like night. So like I can't be up like on my phone all night, like I don't know, like scrolling through TikTok like I normally would
For
like in the
sure.
summer and stuff like that.
That's
so
great.
I mean, it's convenient. There are times where it's like really annoying, but I mean, at least I'm not like on my phone 24/7 like all night.
For
That's
sure.
awesome. Yeah.
Last thing about social media.
For sure.
And then we can move on. But is there something that you feel like, even just like bringing it up, how it affects your mental health? Like, does that make you think like, oh, I should probably like unfollow maybe this person? Or like, I was thinking about it yesterday. Like, I think especially as a high school girl, like how I compared myself to like, these like fitness girl accounts, and like that's a real thing for girls. I think that body image is a very big mental health like issue that social media just completely exposes. But all right, next statement is, I believe mental health is as important as physical health. All right, why do we think that? Chloe?
So for me, when I like actually get out of my bed and get my body moving, it makes me feel a lot more better mentally than I would just be laying in bed all day.
For sure.
Like, cause I'll literally be laying in bed all day and I'll feel like absolute trash.
For
And
sure.
like,
Yeah, that's what
I
it's
just
like.
need to get up and like move my body in some sort of way. Not
Yeah.
like doesn't mean I have to go work out, but it means like I need to like get out of the house. I need to go do something.
Yeah.
So like when I take care of my body, it helps me take care of like my mind.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeremiah?
Yeah, I would say pretty much like that. You just, to have a good day, you need to be physically and mentally well.
For sure.
Just going outside, taking a walk, that could be like the best time of your day, just being by yourself. At least for me, because I could think about all the good stuff in my life and stuff I could work on.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, absolutely. I
We-
think, go ahead.
I was gonna say we don't do this as regular as we should, but we used to call it mental health walk Mondays, where
yeah.
we just had to like take a walk on Mondays to just kind of after a big day of Sunday just to get out and get our body moving again. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Mental health walks are amazing. But I think specifically on the physical health, I think sometimes we overlook how important our sleep is. And my favorite thing, my dad, it was not my favorite thing at the time. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, Dad, you were right. Like, he would always tell me, Caroline, sleep is a gift. Like, go receive your gift. Like, go to bed.
That's good. Yeah.
But it is a gift because, I mean, today, even, like, I didn't sleep well and, yeah.
You're not you when you don't have your sleep.
Neither are you, bro.
Us both.
You're not you. It's like the Snickers.
Yeah, for sure.
You're not you when you're hungry.
That's so
You're not
true.
you when you don't sleep,
And I think it's like such a prevalent thing in Gen Z is like, I jokingly will say the sleepless generation, but like oftentimes when you ask a young person, like, how many hours of sleep did you get last night? What's recommended is 8 hours?
Yeah.
And oftentimes I'll ask a student, and they'll say like, it's like half that is what is happening. And so the basic necessities of like sleep and drinking water and even our physical, like it does play a part in our mental health.
100%.
All right, so the next statement we have here is, I have someone I can speak to when I'm struggling with my mental health. Who would say I've got someone in my life that I can speak to when it comes to, that's actually awesome. Cool. A lot of us in here.
Awesome.
Miley, who would that person be for you?
I think definitely the youth leaders. I feel like we have such a community around youth. Definitely you guys too. And the other one would be my mom. Like, I just feel like I can have people that are there if I need them.
100%. That's awesome.
Jeremiah?
Yeah, it's 100% my parents. I just know that they love me so much, and it doesn't matter what I did. They'll always be there for me.
That's
Jeez,
awesome.
come on.
I love that.
That's so good. Okay, both of you guys said that it was your parent, like a parent at least, and like, and I think that's so important because not every student can say that they can talk to their
for
parent
sure.
about their mental health. How do I ask this? Like,
I think just a question. So what would you guys say, what would make you feel comfortable opening up to somebody, whether it be a parent or a leader, if that's something that you don't have? What's something when you're struggling with your mental health you would want of a person when you are dealing with mental health?
I would definitely say someone who just listens to you and has compassion for what you have to say. It's a big factor that helps people open up, at least for me, is just when someone will listen to what I have to say.
that's really good.
For sure.
On the flip side, what shuts you down from sharing or just asking someone for help when you want to talk about your mental health problems and struggles? Because I think some parents might be watching this and they're like, I want to be the person my kid comes to when they're struggling with their mental health, but how can I be that person? What kind of shuts you down from opening up?
Yeah, it would definitely be when people use like their past experiences to invalidate what you're going through, that it might not be as bad. Like, I went through this, but I still got through it.
Right.
Yeah,
Or they
Yeah.
just,
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, because, like, what does that do, like, in your head? Like, what are you thinking? Like,
It just makes me feel like they don't really care. Like, they see it, but they don't see it as a big issue as I see it.
For
Yeah.
sure.
And it just, I don't want to talk about it anymore then, because they just completely shut it down.
yeah, for sure. That's so real. Miley, did you have anything to add to that?
I definitely agree. Like when someone just doesn't, it feels like they don't support you when they,
For sure.
or they might not listen or.
For sure.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely.
Yeah, I remember like even the phrase like "there's nothing wrong with you," when you like know that something's happening within you. Like it's the invalidating, like what you're saying. Like I know that something's happening. I don't feel right. You know, I'm having trouble breathing, whatever it might be, and then that person invalidates what you're feeling. It's just such a lack of listening, such a lack of empathy in a sense that I feel like we all desperately want. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. For me, it's kind of like also like a lack of trust.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are times where I'll open up to somebody, but I may not tell them like as much as I would tell somebody who I like really, really trust. So like the difference would be like, okay, I just like I could like somebody could ask me like, oh, how's your day going? I'd be like, oh, it's okay. And like somebody that I'm close with, that like I have that relationship with, I may go into like more detail or like tell them like if something was wrong, like what it was, like what maybe caused it. So I mean there's that, and then there's also like you guys said, like the invalidation, like that kind of stuff.
For sure.
So next statement is, I have struggled with my mental health this past week.
Yeah.
Anybody want to share about that?
I can.
Yeah.
So recently, for me at least, I've been under like a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. I have exams next week, the end of the school year, so everything is just kind of like piling up.
Yeah.
Really. But I mean, also with that, I've been using like some resources that I have. So like I have like an outside therapist that I talk to, and like I've been like I'll talk to my parents about stuff, well, my mom. Sometimes I'll like go to my little sister about some stuff too. So I mean, it really just depends. But I mean, overall, it's really just like school related stuff.
Yeah. It's real.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, I definitely agree with Reese. Like, just coming to the end of like almost being a senior, the struggle of like what am I gonna do after school? And I feel like with that, it just brings so much stress and worry. But I feel like with that, I can just sit and just listen to worship music, and I feel like that just makes my mood a whole lot better, and it just gives me peace, even though I feel anxious about that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely had a lot of family news of recent that has really impacted and affected me. Won't go into detail, but it just seems like when it, maybe you've heard that phrase, when it rains, it pours.
Yeah.
Just it poured, these past few weeks hearing about a lot of family stuff. And I think oftentimes for us as youth pastors, it's like you still got to do your job. You still have to show up for people. You still have to put on this strong face, but like deep down, you know that like, man, this is really affecting my behavior and my mood and the way that I'm acting and things like that. And I think even oftentimes as Christians, like it's like difficult sometimes because you might be like really struggling deep down, but still you have to show up for others as well.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just reminded that God reminds us to cast our burdens and cares onto Him.
Yeah.
We don't have to carry that for ourselves. And so like Miley's saying, just going back to that place with God is just so vitally important whenever we are struggling.
Yeah, I love that. Miley, when you do like spend that time in worship, like what does that look like for you? Do you have like a place or like a specific, even like a song, like, or something that you do to kind of feel peace again?
I feel like sometimes if I have a busy day, I'll just put on worship music while I'm getting ready, or when I try to make the time, I have this place, it's like by my bed and nightstand, and I just sit and just pray and read and it just makes me feel so much lighter, and it brings that peace of not having to worry about the struggles of life sometimes when they pile up.
Yeah. That's great. Thanks for sharing that.
Well, our last statement for today is kind of what we themed even our t-shirts, which is God cares about our mental health. And so just our last question is, I believe that God cares about my mental health. Who would believe that to be true? Awesome.
Awesome.
Chloe?
I think 100% God cares about our mental health. Like, there's no doubt about it, because He cares about everything that you're going through in life, whether
For
it's
sure.
good or it's bad. He's always there through it all.
Hmm.
And He is walking with us through all of our mental health struggles. Like,
Yeah.
like you said, we're supposed to cast our burdens on Him.
For sure.
So He cares about us enough to take all of that from us
Yeah.
and to help us through it.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's great. Love that.
Me, yeah, I would say it's undoubtedly He cares, because there's so many verses you could look to. I mean, there's even, I like to go on Bible plans, just go on that, and you
Mhm.
can see many, many verses, and it's just, like Chloe said, you just put your cares on Him, and then He'll help you through it.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
That's great. Miley or Reese, anything?
I can add some stuff. So, me personally, I think that God has a plan for us.
Mhm.
And I know that anything that I'm going through, he's making me go through it for a reason.
Mhm.
Whether that's to make me like emotionally stronger or really just anything. But I know that he's with me throughout that entire time, and this is just a part of his plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so good.
I feel like when you, I definitely believe that. I feel like God knows what we go through, and He has, like Reese said, such a plan, and I feel like He uses it to just help someone else. Like sometimes if we don't know or understand why, He can use it just to help someone else.
Yeah. That's so good.
Yeah, the verse that we talked about a few weeks ago was in 1 Peter chapter number 5, verse number 7. It says, "Cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you."
Yeah.
And I think that's such a good, encouraging verse for us, that we can be reminded. In another translation, it says, "Cast all of your cares onto God because He cares for you." I think even the Bible is reminding us today that, yeah, God does care about every single part of us, and we don't have to do life alone.
Okay, so to wrap up this conversation, if you could say one thing to encourage your peers around the topic of mental health, what would you say to them?
I would. You want me? I would say that people care. Just find someone who you can trust, and they'll help you through a lot.
Yes, that's so good.
I would definitely say, like, come to youth. I feel like for me, when I would go through struggling times, like just coming and being surrounded by the people I love, like God didn't want us to be alone. He wanted us to be in community with other people. Like He cares about us, and He knows that other people, and we have people to support us.
Yeah, that's good.
I would definitely say pray about it and see why you're going through what you're going through, and try to figure out what season of life and why you're in this,
Yeah.
and where it will lead you in the end, because God has a bright side to the end of the tunnel, and He will definitely lead you through it.
For sure.
That's great.
I would just say, like, seek God or seek help. Like Chloe said, you can, like, pray about it, or, like, if you think that it's, like, you're gonna need more help than just, like, praying about it, like, go talk to someone, because in the long run, it's better if you tell someone than to keep it all bottled up.
Yeah, that's great.
So I'd even throw it back to you. What would you tell your younger high school self? How would you encourage yourself?
Don't cry.
Struggling. Don't cry. Right. Keep it together.
Oh gosh. I think for me, my mental health like mostly revolved around being one of the like only followers of Jesus in my community that was like really like I had a lot of friends that, you know, said they were Christians, but not a lot of like friends that were actually following Jesus, and if you know what I mean. And I think that was, my mental health was around the isolation that I felt and the loneliness that came with that. And I would just encourage like teenage Caro to just keep running to the secret place of like literally like this like loneliness that you're feeling is seasonal, and it's preparing you for the kind of community that God like has, and like holding on to hope of scripture. Like, I don't know, I think I would just encourage her to keep finding peace in the presence of God, and like that's the only like real peace that, you know, you're going to find. You can't find it anywhere else. But yeah, I don't know.
So good.
Let's throw it back to you.
Okay.
What would you tell high school Josh?
Feels weird because I am officially 10 years out of high school this year. Weird.
Old head.
Old head.
Same time. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I just would tell my younger self it's okay to ask for help, because
Yes, that's so good.
I just think the church environment I grew up in as a kid, and a lot of the conversation even having with some friends the other day, was just that the church I grew up in didn't encourage that. You know, it was just pray about it, or, you know, whatever it might be, but, you know, the invalidation almost. But I just wish I would have been okay to like recognize, even what Paul says, when I am weak, then I am strong. To be able to recognize that I can ask for help, and that there's somebody out there that actually cares about me, loves me, is for me. Definitely would have gone to youth, you know, definitely wasn't doing that, but I definitely wish I would have recognized that there's help around the corner, and that there's people that really care about you and love you and want to see what's best for your life.
Yeah, that's so good.
Thank you. All right, well, that's a wrap, guys. Awesome. Thanks for being here today.
Yes.
That's it.